pointing it out and for talking about the law, the way when he was pointing, and also reminding them of the autonomy of the local governments. In the
now that to a large extent in Osun State, that when you look at the body language of the governor, it appears that probably this is just the beginning of the crisis and possible bloodshed in Osun State. Because if the governor goes ahead with these local government elections, what's going to happen is that after the elections, he will want to swear them in.
Yeah.
Now, this installed or reinstated local government chairman, whose tenure will finish in October 2025,
yeah,
would not want to leave, you know, the secretariat for this these newly inaugurated ones, unless the governor is saying that this election will have to wait and take effect after October. Is that what he's saying?
Which is what you're supposed to do.
And you know that in Nigerian political ecosystem, whenever local government elections is being done, it's usually a winner takes it all kind of system where the ruling party usually wins all the seats.
Yeah.
You understand? So now this could also tell why, you know, the political parties are really embroiled in this, because now this is fight for survival of the opposition party, which in turn, you know, you can get them at the local government level.
Everything you're saying, it's from a political, analytical level, you know, trying to win an election, a lot of political scientists or analysts are of the opinion that whatever it is it takes for you to win an election, do it, you know, or for you to have control. But some of us are also of the opinion that humanity first. You know, when you look back in hindsight, when you do things in life today, when you look back in hindsight and history, posterity sets you free. I can use an example. Our former president, Goodluck Ebele, and he made a very important statement that he would not, because of his ambition, allow the bloods of Nigerians to be spilled. Now, when you look at in hindsight what he said with the USAID scandal and things that is coming out, you know that Jonathan actually prevented a civil war by just letting things be. And posterity will always look back at him and say, you're a great man. Because there's a lot of temptation, being the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, that people want to just push you out of your office, and you have a lot of resources that you can use and push back and fight, irrespective of what happens. You can decide to burn down the country. And at that moment, you have the courage and the wisdom to say, no, if this is what they want to prevent a larger scale something, let them have it.
All right.
So I think our politicians should borrow a leaf in that maturity that a leader that has led this country has shown. It shows that a lot of people in Nigeria have the courage, irrespective of whatever personal gains they are going to have, to do the right thing. And I expect Governor Adeleke, to have that courage to do what is right for the sake of Osun State people, whom he said he's representing, whom he said he's fighting on their behalf, whom he said he wants their betterment. He's from a wealthy background. I don't understand what he wants. He was wealthy before he became governor.
There's a difference between wealth and power.
I think the real power lies in the people. The real power doesn't lie in all these things they are doing. That's why in Nigeria you have governments that have power but are not popular.
For politicians, the power lies in grassroots. And for you to get the grassroots in this instance is to get the structure that controls the grassroots.
I understand.
And the structure that controls the grassroots now would be the local government. But then when you look at it from the other angle, one would say, where goes the political strategy of lobbying? You can easily lobby these people, you know, to defect to your camp. You have a lot of resources.
Do you know why it's
Though the only thing now is that with the financial autonomy, it will be difficult. Right, because these people can stand up to you. Not only monies they generate from the federal, they can also generate money internally within their local government.
So before you talk of the federal level, you start from the grassroots. Every developing nation, there is no ideology. The ideology is money and power. That's why you can see somebody being APC today, tomorrow is in PDP, next tomorrow he's back to APC.
Party.
Because the problem is there's no ideology. These cities do not have. They can't tell you that this is their plan. That's why when
but then they have never denied it. I mean, politicians will always tell you one thing. when politicians speak, they don't tell you about ideology, they tell you about interest.
That's what I'm saying.
Interest is very different from
Okay,
ideology. Always tell you that politics is about interest.
A country where their politicians do not, especially parties, do not have certain ideologies, which a country where their politicians are only based on interest of what the political class is going to get, then you have a problem for that country.
Who makes
because
up the
ideology?
Who makes up the political parties?
Let me tell you.
Who makes up the political class?
I'm coming. Let me explain to you. You know, in politics, there are partisan politicians that do not participate. Some are funders, business people that fund politics. Now, they fund for interest. They fund because this politician, his narrative is that he's put their money there. So they are supporting that party because the party's business idea matches their own idea. So they are ready to fund the party all the way. Unfortunately, in society, it's the politicians that formulate the idea, they formulate everything, and it's not like a more of a shark infested water, because the whole thing there is these guys is even under the military that we had vision 2020 vision, this one that the military government with all its, as no party has ever told us, even the PDP that did 16 years or more or about 20 something, I think, from 1990 to...
We've had 19-point agenda, haven't we?
The instruments are played, but you get a beautiful symphony, you get a beautiful orchestra out of, and you enjoy a good show. That's what a leader does. Right. So a leader leads, a leader looks at, so you can make a decision as a leader, and you find out, oh, I made a hasty decision. No, we've not had those kind of things. We've not had those kind of discourse. Nigeria, what we rather do is we have reactive kind of a reactive kind of system
approach.
Yes, not a proactive kind of system. The legislature, in that whole process, the judiciary has become questionable. And when you have all this, because the legislative arm of government is supposed to check the executive arm of government. And when you don't have all these things working how it's supposed to work, you have a problem. Nigeria seems to be somebody that's playing around a cliff, hoping it will fall off.
All right, very well. And then on to National Assembly. Tensions flared during plenary on Monday as a dispute over seating arrangements led to a heated...
That people are earning money, so much money, and the citizens are not enjoying anything. That they are being paid more than American senators, and their country is not developed, and it's a third world country. And this is what I beg. This they don't have shame now. How many things have they done in the public?
The world is watching now. Senator Apoti, Natasha, is this not the first time? You know, there appears to be some sort of tension between Senator Natasha and the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. But in this particular instance, every house has its house rules. Yeah. Now, why not obey the house rules?
That's why I said it's not.
Why not obey the house rules?
Do you know I don't like this issue being in a public domain.
Why?
Since they have house rules, they should sort it out in the house. They are grown adults. They are senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If they can't handle themselves, what message are they portraying? What public image are they portraying? Yes, you have house rules. Then solve it within the house.
Well, that particular plenary was being aired.
Exactly.
And like it or yes.
Exactly.
It is out there.
Yeah, like it or not, they will follow the house to sort out this issue. It will not be any other rules. So I don't even expect any official statement to come out from the Senate, except that person is an amateur. This is their own issue. This is not the reason why.
But Nigerians are reacting.
Yeah, because Nigerians don't
some are saying that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, should apologize to Senator Natasha. You know, some people are playing would emerge Nigeria's president in 2027. Despite the crisis rocking the NPP, the national chairman said there is relative peace and stability in all branches of the party. Our party, of course, is witnessing only a minute but not insurmountable challenge, unlike other parties whose challenges question their very existence. Our colleagues, our challenges are negligible in the sense that those who elected to break away from us continue only to throw pebbles on our windows. They lack the moral, political, and legal basis to hurt us, he said. I therefore call on our leaderships at all levels, national, state, local government, and world levels to please brace up and confront these challenges, particularly to ignore the recent chariot claims to establish a parallel leadership, Papa Lagos. The questionable paper they have been brandishing like a weapon of mass destruction is nothing other than what it is, a paper. We will soon tear that paper apart. Let us stand together as a party, move together as a party, together in a unified whole with one destiny. That is the destiny to become the ruling party come 2027. It is definitely going to be a tough journey. However, no journey is worthy and is worth undertaking if it is not tough. We are the NMPP. We embody the hopes and future of our youth, and we are poised to lift Nigeria out of its current state and build a nation of which all of us will be proud. Now, NMPP has boasted. What do you have to say? And why is that funny?
Yeah, because I can just ask one simple question. Apart from Kwankwanso, what else do you know about NMPP? Their policies, their vision, what they want for the nation. I can also ask one question. Is NMPP truly a national party? Apart from Kano State, have they won any election outside of Kano State? So, I don't know. I take them with a pinch of salt. And Kwankwanso might have a cult-like following in Kano State. But once he steps out of Kano State, who is he again in any part of Nigeria? So these are the things that we have to be talking about. You don't just come out and tell people this person will be president and without stating facts that will make him president. Everything you read out that they said at the party were just ambiguous statements. There was nothing particular nothing was pointing to a particular direction of where we are going to be, what we are going to do, how we are going to help Nigerians move to the next level, and achievements of Kwankwanso himself on a national level as a person. You know, we are this. I always tell people I don't want to regionalize or ethnicize our politics, but there are certain things I see from certain parts of the country that border, especially based on the fact that a lot of power has come from that part of the country, and it's important that these people realize that nobody in Nigeria, no citizen, whether from north, deserves this poverty they are getting. You can't continue to spill out the same kind of propaganda on people, and you and you continue to live the elite enjoyment life. These people, they live the rancadilla, they remain loyal, they don't get access to education. Even the next generation of any form of education, you know, they rather say to the Alma, even good luck try to invest in the Almajis. When they come out and give a key kind of statements like this ambiguous statement of Uncle will come and be president of who? Of who? Based on what? Based
You're
on
checking
what
the
CV,
variables.
based on what CV?
It's not widespread.
Yeah, so they should. This is an ambiguous statement, and it's shameful that people. These are political jobbers. People work for and don't tell them the truth and come out and put out kind of statements.
All right, very well. And then on to by-elections. Independent National Electoral Commission says it has commenced preparations for the conduct of by-elections to fill the vacant seats in the national and state assemblies. Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Rotimi Oyekanmi, in an interview with press in Abuja on Thursday, unreliable, not budgeted for, and also difficult to plan for in advance. This, he said, was why INEC chairman, Professor CVR, is the top of the commission's agenda. It is only a matter of time before the commission announces the date, he said. What do you make of this statement by INEC, Ugochukwu? And why is it funny to you?
I don't know. Ever since he's first of all talked about the financial challenges. But my question is, do we need all that money to do a proper election? Is it how all other countries spend money?
We're not even talking about the elections now. We're talking about by-elections.
That's what I'm telling you. And he's already complaining that the INEC chairman himself is and the elections go to organizing by-elections. They've killed the urge in Nigerians to be interested in the electoral process, because Nigerians feel that the electoral process does not represent the direction which they voted. So anything that comes from INEC, until INEC repairs this damage it has done to its image, is going to be very in positions of power. So if we cannot address this, there's nothing you can tell somebody like me, Ugochukwu, that I will look at and believe, because justice is very important to equity.
Now, to a large extent for you, the trust deficit has given rise to voter apathy.
Exactly. A big one. 2027 election, one advantage the people that keeping this country in this condition have is that a lot of young people will just ask themselves a question: does my vote count? Is it not the same INEC? So it will now give room for them to consistently do what they've always been doing, which in a way for me, it's, if we start thinking that way, it's a defeatist mentality. We have to, it has to be, something special has to happen to get people's attention back to whatever candidate that is coming. Whatever his intentions are, he knows that what power he has lies with the people, not with INEC.
Right. Okay. Now, in your opinion, power has moved from the people
to INEC.
Yes. So elections in Nigeria are a mere exercise.
Exactly.
All right. Very well. Now, INEC, part of the story was when INEC was talking about the challenges that it has, the budgeting and all that. Yeah.
I just think that I asked the question before I started saying that committees that organize election like INEC kind of stuff in as well as spend a dime to be able to run. Why are they afraid of so many things that
they cannot control?
Yes, because let me tell you the reality. Nigeria is the biggest market in the whole of Black Africa when it comes to electronics and mobile phones and the internet. Nigerians have a lot of smart people when it comes to this. Now, when you went to do whatever you did, you contracted it outside, you didn't give it to Nigeria. If you go to Amazon, the people that handle the server this thing and write them, they'll tell you everything. And it's such a shame for INEC. And INEC has not answered that question till today. And the problem with Nigerians is that we forget easily, but there are things you don't forget. Now, you're so high heart. Do you know that our national ID card, there's an electronic version of it that has been available for more than 5-6 years now? Use a barcode, everything. But how many Nigerians know that they can have their national ID card on their phone, like an app that NIMC has an app, National ID Card Management. They have an app. Why is nobody talking about it? What's the work of the National Orientation Agency? In a country where you're driving, in the economical aspect, you're pushing them towards cashless, and you're not pushing them towards tech.
Digital, yeah.
So if at this level, Nigerians, we can actually vote from the phone.
So an alternative in order to make it less
cumbersome
for INEC
if you already
is
have
to vote digitally.
Yes, now if you already have an NIN, because Nigeria is a crazy country. Other countries, you just have social security. Here, they will multiply different things. They even wanted to add one new one. I don't know why you need all those digital identity. Because all this digital identity contains your biometrics. So once you have a digital identity that contains your biometric, how can somebody read you? How can somebody vote that it's you? Because if you sit down in your house and say, okay, I don't want to go to a polling center, I log into INEC on an election day and said, okay, voting time is from so time and so time. There's some biometric identity.
People of Biafra has strongly criticized the alleged exclusion of the Southeast from all the capital projects in the 2025 Nigerian national budget as read and approved by the House of Representatives. In a statement issued by its Media and Publicity Secretary, Emma Powerful, IPOB describes the development as a confirmation that the Nigerian Senate has denied Igbo citizenship. The group urged Igbo people to view this exclusion as a motivation to intensify efforts towards the realization of an independent Biafran nation. The statement titled, "Exclusion of Igbo from Capital Projects in the 2025 Budget Should Motivate Igbo to Pursue Biafran Independence," criticized the federal government's action and called it a wake-up call for Igbo politicians who believe working with the Nigerian state guarantees them acceptance. According to IPOB, the exclusion of the Southeast region from all capital projects in the 2025 national budget, as read and approved by the Nigerian House of Representatives, is a clear confirmation that Nigerian state has denied Igbo citizenship. The group emphasized that this move justifies their call for an independent Biafra nation, which is being championed by the global family and movement of IPOB under the leadership of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, who remains in DSS custody. IPOB referenced a viral video showing an Igbo House of Representatives member raised concerns of the exclusion of the Southeast during the 2020 projects while remaining silent. Such inaction not only proves that they are serving themselves, not
things are similar with that of Igbo. So what's the similarity for that person?
Obako Ikwere has a different stand from what you just said.
Yeah, that's Obako, but we share common culture, boundaries, and a lot with the Igbo people. So, and if we share those things we share, we should see what we have in common more than what we do not have in common. And can you bring, sorry, I'm not an ethnicist, but let me give you an example. You can bring a Yoruba man and bring an Igbo man for an Ikwere man and ask him which is your closer brother, and he chooses a Yoruba man over an Igbo man. Because a lot of things the Ikwere man will say, the Igbo man will hear. A lot of things the Igbo man will say, the Ikwere man will hear. A lot of their cultures are alike. It's not that the Yoruba man is not his brother, but I'm just trying to tell you how, it's just like you bring the Ijaw man. You understand? They share common boundaries, they share common cultures. So you can't deny somebody that shares a, because of political lines that people have. And if you look at all of us, we are all part of the old Eastern region. So we have a lot in common. But that apart, I look at when I hear the Igbo man complain in Nigeria, it's like when a giant is imprisoned by a small boy that is flogging him. Because as far as I'm concerned, economically, the Igbo as a tribe is a giant. The Igbo as a tribe, they're a giant economically, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Africa. And intellectually, also a force, a bad boy. Thank you. It is.
And they are using Igbos as a case study.
It's not a course in any of the Nigerian universities. Harvard University found it worthy
to understudy Igbo apprenticeship system.
Because it's economies, it creates wealth. But back here in Nigeria, there's no university that has that in their curriculum. You think something is not wrong somewhere. Now, for me, the Igbo needs economic independence more than any other independence. They already have it, but the challenge the Igbos have is that the Igbos are not united. I can use Nigerian political history to tell you, when Nigeria got into democracy, the time the Igbos had to produce Senate president in the 8 years of Obasanjo, they produced 6. Until today, I can't wrap my head around that. No other ethnic group tries that. So, as an ethnic nationality, the Igbos need to get their act together and realize that a broom together cannot be broken. A broom can be broken in bits.
Could this, to a large extent, concretize part of the things that IPOB has said when they were alleging that the
What?
Southeast
Yeah.
lawmakers that were in plenary that day, that their colleague
not
was
sit- come up
shouted
as a
down, allegedly has been, was not,
Marginalized.
he was marginalized and not even trying to make it make sense to me
Yeah.
at the end of the day, but then it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, the IPOB, they are calling out the Southeast lawmakers. Like, what are you
Which
doing?
I totally agree with them. I have. Do you know the impact that will make all the Igbo reps come back and senators and say, see the budget they brought. These people did not see you here. It becomes a bigger issue.
Look at how the North reacted to the tax reform bill.
Exactly.
Not even the budget.
Exactly.
Tax reform
Exactly.
bill, and how he held the nation ransom.
Exactly.
And they kept on talking about it.
And
And
it's
some
not gone
point,
away. It's not going to go away.
that conversation, and at the end of the day, the president even had to take his time to begin to explain, because he had no choice but to explain.
Exactly.
And lobby, and you could see lobby going on. You could see lobby going on in the, and people like Aline Dume took out time to go back to
Intimidate you. I don't think that at this level that I am, if I am a lawmaker, that you intimidate me. If you try it, I'll come back to my constituency and tell them that in case anything happens,
He has such money. But a black man will be worth $3, and you think he has $10 million, you know. And he said the reason is because black people care about money. White people care about control. Two different things. He now said, you spend the money, who prints the money? So he asked fundamental questions that got to me, and I was like, oh, this guy is making a lot of sense. Now, if you come back to what we are talking about, the Southeast as a region, it's not a united region. They don't ever do things in a unified front. If the governor of Anambra State is saying something different, the governor of Ebonyi State is saying something different, the governor of Abia State is saying something different, the governor of Imo, they don't have a unified front. They don't even have a forum where they come out and say, no, we've not been properly represented. Decisions we are going to make. I remember during the Amechi, that is a story for another day. We have to find other ways, other options to improve our influence upon the lives of our people. Let me ask you a question. Getting goods from Apapa to Onitsha and from One to Onitsha is closer.
One to Onitsha, of course.
Exactly. Now, our people have thoughts, and they're telling you that it's federal government. I told them that Lekki Deep Sea Port is private consortium and Lagos government. Badagry Deep Sea Port is private consortium and Lagos government. Ogun State is looking at their own. These people are going out to look for investors. See what I have, or using conduits to bring investors. Maybe the government doesn't have.
Because now we are talking about our legislators
Yeah.
in the National Assembly. Why are they not speaking up, right? Like, why are they not saying anything? Because part of the thing there is that at that level, you are representing your constituency, and by extension, not just your constituency, but your state, right? And you can't say things that will economically impact